Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to our another episode of TaiPhoon, the podcast where we dive into the diverse topics and bring up some fresh perspectives. So I'm Jacinda, and I'm here with my amazing co-host Aiyanna, Ben, and James. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
So this episode is all about family dynamics across culture, and we will be sharing stories, exploring traditions, and unpacking how families' values shape who we are and how we interact with the whole world. So now let's jump right in with some questions. So I would like to first ask Aiyanna. So what do family traditions mean to you, Aiyanna?
I think for me, family traditions center around a lot of Catholic holidays, just because the majority of my family is like Catholic, 98% of it, I would say. And so our traditions are kind of based off of like Christmas, New Year's, Easter, those kind of things. Growing up, it's something that's important that you attend and that you're part of it and you're participating. Also, it's, I don't know if this is like a family tradition, but also like being very much involved in going to church and making sure that you have a spiritual connection with God is also something that's very important in my family, and is brought up a lot. Oh, I think a unique family tradition, apart from all of that, because I think those things are not really just unique to St. Lucia or my family. I think in my family, our tradition is always eating at my grandma's house, in the sense that the location that my grandma lives is so convenient for everybody in our family that when they have their lunch break, that they can just drive over or walk over, and we all kind of like sit and eat together with whoever is kind of there at the time. And she always like cooks from early in the morning, and then she labels like the containers or the bowls or the plates, so everybody knows like their plate, what it looks like. So you kind of just walk into the kitchen, you grab it, and then you go, you sit down, watch TV, talk with whoever's there. So growing up, that was something that always kind of stuck with me, because I had never experienced anything like that from any other family, like my friends or anything like that. It was kind of just something that we did in our family, and she still continues to do up till this day.
I think it's very similar to me, but I wanted to listen to what James think about this question as well.
Family traditions, I think every family is kind of different, right? They have their own. And also, like, what exactly... I mean, Aiyanna was stating some traditions as in holidays and also going to church and stuff like that. But there's also kind of like, I think, kind of more minute stuff, right? That all families kind of is very unique that they might do. So I'm trying to think about something that we do, but... growing up, on Sundays was our family day. And so Sunday was was our day, and my dad was in town, that we would go out and have dim sum. And that was kind of our thing. And then back in those days, he would bring the Sunday newspaper with him, and we'll drive down to this, it was always the same spot. There wasn't a lot of options. There's this place to go eat dim sum, and then they'll come around with the carts. And it was kind of Hong Kong style. And then we'll sit there for like 3 hours. My dad would usually say, just read the newspaper. And we'll just kind of like eat dim sum. That was our time when we can all get together as family, because everyone's, we're going to school. Mom is mom, and dad is always busy working.
Yeah.
So that was, that's one of the traditions that I remember kind of growing up. I think also I think kind of as a family, kind of respect our time together over meals. So we're a huge foodie family.
Yeah.
That eats and cooks a lot, and we value the time of cooking at home and throwing like parties for friends, and kind of but it's a little bit different in Asia, because Asia you're kind of limited in space and whatnot, but in the U.S. we have a lot of space to cook outside and cook inside and cook in a garage. So like I feel like in the States, maybe in Palau too, you do a lot of home cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just convenient, but it's just more I think it's culturally more accepted, or maybe just
To eat at home.
to
And
eat at
cook.
home, and even with friends and whatnot, friends and family. It's more easier, I guess, or to just do it at home, and you don't have to worry about anything. Very relaxed, right? So it's a lot of cooking at home. I feel like.
I agree. And this
Yeah.
might be something that you guys also agree with, or maybe Ben, but in my family, like you were saying, Sundays were your day. The weekend was kind of our time as well, where maybe my uncle, my dad, or aunts, they'll like, oh, like, let's go to the beach because, like, we live on an island. Let's go to the beach, and then people bring, like, the grills and then the meat, and everybody kind of brings, like, some sort of food, and then we kind of just open the trucks or the cars onto the beach on the sand so that you kind of sit in the trunk and eat, or you stand and you eat, and it's kind of just like a barbecue kind of thing with like your family. So we also had that. And I also wanted to ask, apart from the like barbecue stuff, did you guys also have in your family like making tapes, or is like you had that kind of like picture taking phase?
Picture taking. We always had videos. It was even before
The camcorder?
cassettes. And we have a lot of cassettes. My mom still keeps them of us growing up, and my dad was always a cameraman, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
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 He's never in the videos. He's
Yeah.
always the one taking the DV and then
Yeah. We've lost that.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
There's none of that anymore.
Yeah.
Some pictures here and there, but the whole video thing is the excitement of that era of taking videos is
Yeah.
kind of gone, I guess. Yeah.
I feel like it kind of ended with our generation, because I still remember that my mom has like the film from the cameras. Like she has the film and she also has the developed photos. So I feel like that was kind of the end of the era of camera,
Right.
digital logging.
So for me, I also our family also have like Sunday family day, which my auntie will bring her own family and then come back to my grandmother's house, which I live. Me and my parents live like, right next to my grandparents' house, so we just like go together and have a dinner at my grandparents' house. That's what we usually do, and we also really like have a long trip going out like 5 days or 4 days. In Chinese New Year, but that's another thing that I can talk about, because I also wanted to ask everybody about like what are some of the family rituals or like celebrations, like something like Chinese New Year's or like even Christmas that you guys would do. So jumping back to going to the beach with the family, do you guys do that as well in Palau?
Yeah, I mean, very similar to James, where Sunday is family days. I mean, we'd all go to church together on Sunday. After we'd all go eat like lunch after church. After we eat lunch, we go home, maybe take a nap, and then head out to like the beach maybe, or we could do like a family outing. It's usually it. If not, then we're just barbecuing at home, just set up the grill.
Is there anything like special, like that you think is unique to your family, like tradition-wise?
Tradition-wise, I mean, like, because Jacinda wanted to touch on like specific things. So like for us, like in New Year's, my mom likes to do this thing. We all stand in the front doorway to our house and roll oranges when it strikes New Year.
Into the house?
Into
Really?
the house.
Roll
Why?
oranges?
There's got to be a story behind that.
I never really questioned it. We just did it. One time I brought all my friends to go roll oranges at my house.
It's good luck.
My mom said
That's so
whoever
cool.
rolls the farthest will have the best luck.
Wow.
But just partaking in rolling the orange, you're definitely gonna have good luck.
That's
But
cool.
the longer it goes into the house,
The more luck you have.
yeah,
But how long is your house? It's just long.
It's it's decent. There's obstacles. You gotta,
So what if it hits the obstacle?
then
That's where it stops.
then
That's
you're done.
that's the luck.
That's the luck you have for the whole year. Your luck was determined by a chair.
If it's like this, it's rolling this way. What does it mean? Rolling this way.
It's not that serious. Where like each direction has a meaning. Just you roll it, and as far as you get, that's
That's how much luck
Okay.
you have.
yeah. And you can't touch
interesting.
the oranges. Like if they can be anywhere around the house, you're not allowed to touch them until New Year ends.
Huh?
not until the day, like
Oh, the day.
I thought that
I
was
thought,
the
like,
next year.
I was like,
Yeah.
wait, for
It
a
just
whole
stays there.
365 days.
Just
fun.
moldy
Moldy
oranges.
No, that's not fun. Yeah.
So that is for
Oranges.
New Year, right?
Yeah.
How about other, like Christmas? What do you guys do?
I mean, we definitely don't have any orange rolling at all. But Christmas in my country looks like, I feel like, a very average Christmas. So maybe Christmas is not a good example because we just like gather, you know, like in the morning you have breakfast at one person's house, like the person that decides that they're hosting Christmas breakfast that year. And the main host will have lunch and dinner. So they're in charge of lunch and dinner. So the whole family will go to their house. But for New Year's, this also maybe isn't special, but for New Year's, what I like about it is that all the resorts, all the hotels, maybe private companies or private houses, they all like buy fireworks, and so there's a lot of fireworks. And I feel like anywhere you are on the island, once the clock strikes 12, you can look up at the sky and there will be fireworks in the sky. So what I really like to do is go to the beach, because the beach is where like all the resorts are, like, because they're beachfront, and you get yourself some barbecue, grilled fish, freshly grilled fish, and you have your drink of choice. You're in your car, you're just chilling, and then you just kind of wait until the clock strikes 12, and then you see the fireworks show, and that's really fun, I think. Yeah. What about you, James? Any specific?
No, this time of year is always traditionally been the fun time. Usually, in America, everything's very calculated as far as like the holidays go. So it's usually the holiday season starts at Thanksgiving. You have Thanksgiving, which is usually it's on a Thursday, and then there's a Black Friday sale, and after that everything becomes Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh.
All the decorations on the streets and everything, Christmas trees go up, and that's when everyone starts to go. Like the state I'm from, we're famous for the Christmas trees.
What do you guys usually do on Christmas? Your family?
Dinner, huge kind of dinner. Christmas Eve actually, and Christmas Day is usually a family day. Christmas Eve will be with friends and family, and people are getting we'll have a big dinner or multiple dinners. Drive around to different houses.
I feel like the week leading up to Christmas is just like Christmas party after Christmas party after Christmas party.
Yeah, and then people are dropping off gifts, putting it under everyone's trees, and then on Christmas Day you just have a tree with tons of presents. And that was always exciting.
That's cool. So after Christmas, and then have like what you guys do, like a New Year's Eve, New Year, right? Then for us, it's the celebration starts at New Year all the way to the Chinese New Year. So what we did on Chinese New Year when I was young, like around 10, I remember around like, it's like 10 years, starting when I was born and all the way when I was back in junior high school. What my family will do, my grandmother's side, because she have like around 8 siblings. So 8 siblings means that it's a huge family. We have around like 40 to 50 people. So I remember there are times like some years they organize big like buses to carry the whole family, and then we just went all the way down to the southern part of Taiwan and then have fun there. And it was quite fun. Like all
just for the day?
Not really for a day. It's like 3 days to 4 days, I think. Yeah, and something like this. I don't really know whether you guys also have like a big family that celebrates together. Yeah. Like this. Yeah. It's just like idea trip. Like the whole bus with family, and then sitting on the bus, blah blah blah, and went to all different kind of places by bus. It was quite fun. Yeah. For me, I was still a baby, so I don't really know what happened. But through the DV from my dad, cameraman again, it seems really fun. But then recently, because my grandmother is already old, and her siblings as well are already old, and the younger kids are now they're going out for work already. I'm the next generation, and I'm kind of like the oldest of the next generation, but we didn't do anything for this trip or organizing or anything. But then because everybody's really busy, old people are old already, so we don't have this kind of like trip anymore, which is kind of sad. And I was also thinking, in terms of this, I'm also thinking about some of the like traditional traditions in families that younger people, are we really doing the same thing as our parents and our grandparents doing, or because like our modern values are really different from those like traditional values, we don't do it anymore, or how do you guys think about this? Like it somehow happens in my family though, and I'll talk about it later. Yeah.
I come from a big Chinese family too, but of course as the generations go down, the sizes go down, the family size, right? So I mean, my dad was a family of 7, and so it's a very big family. But then everyone doesn't have that many kids, so it's a lot smaller. But the extended family is still quite big. And then of course his grandpa. So my grandpa came from a huge family too, with many siblings, right? So I think that's just kind of how Chinese families have evolved.
Yeah.
They used to be big.
Yeah.
And everyone used to be very, I guess, fun, maybe. It's kind of fun to think about those days.
Yeah.
Right? When it's, when you have a huge family. But then now it's getting smaller and smaller. So how does that make the family feel, right?
The family dynamic?
Yeah.
Because just like James, like not Chinese, but my family, my grandma has like 9 or 10 kids, and each of those kids have probably 2 to 3 children, give or take. And so our family is pretty big, and growing up I was always just used to having a big family. Like I didn't know what it was like to not have a big family. And I think I didn't because it was something that was always there, I didn't really, I guess, appreciate it because that's all you know. And growing up, I definitely could tell time is changing, and maybe the younger, like I could see like my older cousins, it's like they clearly have a different headspace from maybe like my dad's generation, and then obviously with my grandma's generation, I could already tell the difference. Like they just want to, have fun and, go out with their friends and drink and party and that kind of stuff. But that's not to say that they didn't like make time for family time. It's just that I could tell that, oh, okay, time is changing. And I feel like now, I don't feel as strong of a connection, I feel like, with my family as I did when I was growing up, because I feel like we always showed up for family time, and there was always a opportunity to be all together and having fun and spending, that time bonding. But as we grew up, I feel like, after my dad's generation, which is mine, there wasn't an importance placed on spending time together. And so now it's like everybody's kind of just not distant, but distant, because there's not that togetherness or effort in really gathering like that anymore.
How about you, Ben?
I mean, more or less it's kind of the same as James and Aiyanna. My dad has like 6 sisters. His brother, there's like total of 9 of them. And so when we were kids, all the siblings, my dad and his siblings would take us like all together, all with the kids. We'll all go to like to the beach, or we'll go like to the house up north, and we just all have like family time, and that's how we spend our school days together. And I only have 2 siblings, but my dad's siblings' kids, my cousins, we're all like super close. We all grew up together, and so even after our parents kind of stopped forcing all of us, I don't say force, but
that's what it was.
Yeah, they forced all of us to go to the to hang out together. We kind of all bonded, and so even after the fact that he stopped, we still planned outings, just us as cousins, to go and hang out together, which was good. But now I guess it's just a little bit different now, because I'm here, my sister's in Hawaii, and my other cousins, they're all in like somewhere in America. So we're all spread out now. And so I mean, like even now we talk about planning, like oh maybe we'll meet in like somewhere.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Maybe all meet all back in Palau, but it's never gonna be the same.
It's not the same.
I
Yeah.
feel like the time that it was before was
a different time.
Yeah.
But you know what though, I feel like if you guys do have a
Get
chance,
together?
I don't know, soon or in the future, you guys will get together and feel really nice.
Yeah.
Because I had the opportunity to have that happen kind of recently at my cousin's wedding, and it was a very rare time to get like a lot of us together. It was not everyone, but most of us. And then we were like, you know what, we really got to do this more often because it felt
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was also thinking about something out of family, like things that we will actually do with our family members, but it actually most related to culture stuff, like maybe go to the temple and pray or something, like what we will do. And like I would like to know whether being as a younger generation like us, do you think that there are still a lot of people that are going with their families to do this kind of stuff, or because that we now have a lot of like things that we can do, like a lot of options other than really participating in family like rituals or traditions or stuff? Do you guys feel like younger generations are being left out or doing other stuff instead of doing it? So in my opinion, and also what I've been finding out, that they're like, okay, so one thing that I wanted to point out is, do you guys know 清明节? It's like in April, where when Taiwanese people or Chinese people, we will go to the what is it, the grave?
Oh,
Tomb
tomb sweeping.
Yeah.
Sweeping.
Tomb sweeping or something. And although right now it's not April or something, but I've been talking to some of my friends before. Like at that period of time, we actually have a national holiday for that. So a lot of people will still go with their parents to go tomb cleaning. Yes. Okay, but there is still some of my friends that they said that they have never been there before, or their tradition is just not doing it anymore. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. Because usually back in my grandmother's times or even my mother's time, every family would do that. So this is something that it's very different from then and now. And I wanted to ask you guys, other than tomb cleaning, are there something the same as this, but you guys are not doing it anymore?
Or in Palau, like our culture and customs are still very much integrated into our like daily lives. We still do it like all the time. Like I mean, and my dad made it apparent for me to learn like all these different like customs and cultures. And so I don't know how it is for most Palau kids, but I had to know it starting from a very young age. And so like, if my dad had to do like a cultural or a custom event, I would have to be there, I have to be present, and I have to be helping him the whole time. Like my brother doesn't have to attend those anymore. He's of course younger, but he's not forced the way I was. My dad would ask him like, "Would you go?" And then he'd be like, "I don't know about going." But for me, it's like, go. Yeah, but
The first kid or something.
yeah. So there was a lot of so the customs in Palau just it stays pretty consistent. Like every like in my generation, a lot of people like my cousins, they could probably run a whole custom thing by themselves. Like for example, like a funeral. Funerals in Palau are a very big thing, a very big event where like whole families will go. And so like usually, for example, my dad would be, if it's a brother or something that passed away, my dad would be in charge of the whole funeral. And so like there's different roles that would be put into it. And so I had to learn what kind of those roles did. And I feel like most people in like, well, at least my generation, like my age, they still know how to do that. But like something like my brothers, I'm not sure if it's the same.
For me, just like what Ben said, I feel like in my culture, the traditions that we have are so ingrained in us that it doesn't even seem like anything, for lack of a better word, special. Because it's just something that you know. Things like family time, like you guys at the beginning were saying, like family time like was on Sundays and blah blah blah. We also had family time on Sundays, but I feel like, as you were saying, like as you you're growing up, or maybe in your generation, like we don't really put that much effort into, oh, like let's all gather at my house and have like a little meal or something like that. So I feel like that tradition kind of died as like time went on. And also maybe going to church on a Sunday as well. I mean, I was always forced to go to church, but I feel like my younger cousins, it was a lot more of an option. And again, like as I got older and older, it seemed as if the only time I would go to church would be if someone died.
Oh.
So, yeah. Or if there was like a wedding or something like that. What about you, James?
I think there's a lot of these type of things that have changed. If we're talking about graves, since we're talking about tomb sweeping,
Sorry.
the one thing that I've been really thinking about recently, I mean, it's not a good thing to think about, but you're thinking about as your parents get older, is where you're planning to bury them, right? So my Japanese side is very kind of like calculated about where everyone goes when they die. You have a family grave and everyone is in there. But for me as the eldest son to my dad, it's kind of already expected that I'm taking over his side of the family. So my brother will be going into the Japanese grave. And then my Chinese side is a little more scattered. We have a family grave in China. But my grandpa broke that tradition. My grandpa, he passed away during COVID, but he passed away and he broke the tradition, and he asked in his will to get buried in Los Angeles, in my uncle's backyard.
What?
So yeah, so which is a very
Specific request.
specific, yeah, in his backyard. So very weird request, but and also just that he really broke the tradition, as in, I mean, you're buried, the first Chinese family member in the young family to be in
The
got
US.
buried in the U.S.
So then how does it continue though?
So we don't know. Yeah, and then so I asked my dad. I was like, "So where do you want to get buried?" I mean, like, you gotta make up your
But like,
mind.
but then you have the option. Like you could choose to just continue the China grave,
Yeah,
or
or
get
not,
added to the backyard, I guess.
or add it to the backyard, or my backyard in the future. I don't know, but so these type of things is kind of shocking to us, because when we were growing up, we would go and do the tomb sweeping, and be like, oh, you know what, this is where your ancestor, your auntie is in here as well.
So
and
do
like,
you do tomb sweeping at the Los Angeles grave?
I've never been there yet. It's my uncle's house. I used to go there growing up, but I haven't been there since it became a tomb. Yeah. It's so far to go there to just go tomb sweeping.
Yeah.
Right?
I am so curious.
Yeah.
You said that your brother will be going with the Japanese one.
Mm-hmm.
Did he choose to be going to it?
Because
Or-
James
No.
you're the oldest.
So this is kind of going into family traditions, but in the Japanese family, the eldest son is the one that takes over the father's family name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So my
And-
father, the eldest son, which is me, will take over the dad's side. And
Yes.
I just have a younger brother. My younger brother will take over the mom's side.
Ah.
That type of.
And your dad happens to not be Japanese but Chinese, so then you have to go to China.
I don't have to go to
Well,
China.
not have to, but like
Yeah.
you
Then
have to take over the Chinese side of things because he's Chinese.
It's more complicated because I guess maybe there are some Taiwanese families like this too, but we're a Hong Kong family. But the Hong Kongers originally came from China, some generations ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
for us it was my grandpa's era, right? And he's the first immigrant into Hong Kong from Shanghai. So but before that they were all from
Shanghai.
China.
China.
and Ningbo. But I mean, so it's China, right? It's China, right?
Yeah.
So but China's changed so much since then, right? It's a completely different kind of world now. And then some people like it, some people don't, so and it's kind of like, well, do you want to be buried there for the rest, for eternity or not, right? I guess my grandpa decided he didn't want to.
Actually,
Yeah,
my grandpa
right.
broke the tradition as well. He's not in the family grave. That's what I heard, but I don't really know whether
you don't
it's
know.
correct or not. He was also not in the family grave. He's in the public grave or something in the big building.
Oh,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah, but
Big building. What, like the ashes?
yeah,
The
the
ashes,
ashes.
yeah.
Yes,
Ah,
yes,
okay,
yes.
okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so it's not that creepy at all anymore.
Wait, I have a question. So the grave that you guys are talking about, the family ones,
Is it
they're the ones in the ground, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
it's
6 feet under.
No.
No,
But
wait.
in Asia, usually they're all cremated.
Oh.
So they're in the ore, and then the ore is just put into the ground.
Oh.
So somehow
that's not
when
how
you-
it works for me.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's different. It's totally
different,
different.
yeah.
We're talking about graves now. so it's kind of funny. Well, I have a little story to share. So first, we gotta know that there's a lot, like in Taiwan, somehow next to the high-speed rail, there's sometimes you can actually see mountain, but
Yeah.
full of little houses. That is
Mhm.
where those graves are.
Uh-huh.
That is
Yeah.
the traditional graves.
Yeah.
But right now, because we're running out of land. Second, because it's very, very expensive
Mm.
to create a new one or something. So people are now thinking, well, we can just put it in the public grave, which is
The building.
the building
It's like
organized by the government.
Little
Yes.
compartments.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Just put the thing in. Yes,
Interesting.
the ash.
We do not have anything like that.
Oh, really?
Mm.
And so when I was young, also on the high-speed rail, when me and my parents and also my cousin, we were on the car and we were going south to have fun as well. It's a family trip or something. And then what my mom told me is that at that time when I see there's so many graves, and then because it looks like small houses,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I didn't know that there were graves, and I just tell my younger cousin saying that because he's a baby at that time. I'm also a baby. I'm like 4 or 5, and I say, "Well, those little houses look like for him to live there," and they were like, no." But it's okay. I'm still a kid, so I didn't get.
No, I
anything
thought they
though.
were little houses too when I first saw them.
Yeah, see.
The Taiwan graves, they look
I
like
feel like
little.
I've never seen them. I probably have seen them, but I just didn't
But
know.
They're usually on a little mountain.
Slope.
and
Yeah.
They go up.
Just
Yeah.
a hill of going up.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Very
But
cool, very cool.
never take a picture and never really looked at that. Every time when we were in a high-speed road, when my dad see that there's grave there, and she
I
would
see
say, "Okay, look this way," and all of the car except my dad, we will look this way. And then when it ends, we will
It's the
turn
same
back.
in Japan, right?
What?
the little houses.
No.
Isn't
no.
it? No?
No?
No. In Japan, the graves are usually at a shrine or temple
Oh.
or family
okay.
property, and then there's a big tombstones, big ones.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
And
very,
then
very
and then your name. Each person doesn't get a tombstone. There's a big tombstone, and your name is added to that tombstone.
I see.
And then you'll see the
That's-
generation.
that's
for it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So anything that you guys wanted to add for family?
For family, no.
No, that's. Yeah.
But we get buried 6 feet under where I'm from, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
6 feet.
6
under.
feet
Speaking
under.
of traditions, my grandpa actually started his own family grave to be.
Oh, he started his own grave.
Yeah, like
Ah.
and now the rest the rest of the generation will be
in that.
one
that plot.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's the same in St. Lucia. You kind of just have like a family plot, and then when you die, you just go back to that same plot.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
do want to ask James. My grandma's Japanese, and she has her mother and sister in her house in urns.
Oh, in urns, yeah.
They're just
Is it
there.
enshrined, isn't it?
Yeah, it's enshrined, and then like there's a time where we have to go and like.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then maybe your grandma, or your sister. Your sister has it.
No, my grandma's sister.
Your grandma has yours.
My grandma has her sister and her mother
Oh, okay. Mm.
in the.
Is she waiting for them to bring them back to Japan, or?
No, there's a shrine. Like we have like there's an actual like inside her house.
Yeah, I know. Where you put the
Urns.
incense and ring the bell, or
We bring like fruits,
yeah.
candies.
Wow, look at all of this interculturaling happening
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I mean, eventually you want to put that somewhere, right?
Maybe she's waiting. Okay.
I don't know what she's waiting for. I mean, my grandma, bless her soul, is not with us anymore. But the shrine is very much still there.
Oh, it's still there.
Yeah.
Was she added to it though?
No, she
Oh.
got buried next to my grandfather.
Oh.
Yeah.
So then,
Now we just have my great grandmother.
sitting.
Oh, the ashes just in.
Yeah, but like the thing is, we don't know how to like, because she
Because-
was the one who conducted the.
Oh, I
if-
see.
If we had like.
And then
if
don't
it
you
was
need
time
like
to-
an official ceremony if you want to remove it, right? I heard that you have
Could be.
there's a ceremony that you have to do if you want to remove the shrine and the
Mm,
ashes.
Could be.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I don't think you can
You
take
don't know
it out.
as well?
No, a lot of these things, so these things get lost, right? A lot
I
of these
saw
things.
it in a YouTube video.
Yeah.
We've talked about a lot of things today for the family tradition and rituals and also this perspective. So thank you everybody for joining to listen to our TaiPhoon podcast with this episode, and wish you guys enjoy it. Yeah. That's
Like
it.
and subscribe.
See you.
Bye.